What's up guys, Matt from footballboots.co.uk, and today we're getting back on our custom creations with Adidas's glitch. And trust me, today's episode is something special, so stay tuned for not one but 3 different customs. We also want you guys to decide which custom out of the 3 is the best, so watch the video and vote in the poll cards towards the end. The glitch has been an absolute smash for the 3-stripe brand since being released, and we were lucky enough to get our hands on both the triple white and triple black pairs. But what would happen if we used their stunning blue blast pack as inspiration to transform the traditional black pair into 3 anything but classic designs? So as you can imagine, we needed a few pretty bold spray paints to create the pure control, pure chaos and pure agility blue blast looks. The ones we went for were blue, pink, orange and white. So where to start? Well, we actually needed to make sure the inner skin was inserted into the outer skin to help keep the boot rigid, otherwise the spray paint could crack when flexed. The first piece of prep work was to tape across the midfoot stitch line so we could spray paint just the toe box in blue like on the Blue Blast Pure Controls. So that's exactly what we did. We headed outside and used the first of our 4 spray paints. Weirdly, the actual type of spray paint we used had more of a dusty effect than previous ones, but this was actually perfect to create the gradient design seen on the Blue Blast Pure Chaos and Pure Agility especially. It's pretty important at this point to let the boot fully dry so the spray paint fully sets onto the boot. As said, this first custom was to create a Blue Blast Pure Control design, and here's how they look once dried and the tape had been taken off. Up next, we went back to the table to tape around the 3-stripe branding so we can make them white. Taped up a simple spray of white coated the previous black stripes, so we then removed the tape and we were well on our way to create a Blue Blast Pure Control glitch. At this point, they actually looked a lot like the Paris pack for Euro 2016. The best thing about creating a custom with a gradient design is that you don't actually need to be overly neat and tidy, so the pressure was off a lot more compared to a blackout or intricate design. One part we did neaten were the 3 stripes with a black Sharpie, and then bordered them in further pink Sharpie to match the actual Blue Blast Pure Controls. The final part to spray paint for our first custom was the sole plate in further blue. Once finished and dried, here's how they looked on feet compared to the original triple black glitch. They actually look quite sweet, so we were now ready to crack on with our second glitch custom to transform them into a Blue Blast Pure Chaos. Using tape again, this time we covered the 3 stripes so we could spray paint the back section firstly blue and then pink over the top once dry to create a stunning gradient effect against the blue base coat. We made it pretty solid around the heel and then became more gentle around the midsection. The dusty spray paint really emphasised the gradient effect. To continue the overall blue and pink visual, we also spray painted the sole plate in the same fashion, and the way you could still see the original iridescent finish added a really unique look. Back at the table once the glitch boot had dried, and we can now undo the tape to see how our second custom looked in its Blue Blast Pure Cast inspiration. As already said many times in this custom creation, the dusty look achieved through the type of spray paint had absolutely smashed it. But one problem which arose was when we did an on feet and a small section had started to crack at the flex point. Obviously we had never planned to actually wear these boots afterwards and just add them to our custom collection. So be aware that if you do use spray paint, then they won't last long if you actually wear them. The Blue Blast Pure Cast glitch looks so good on feet, but it was now time for our third and final custom to create the striking Pure Agility design. Taking the glitch back outside, we used a bag to cover the lower section of the boot, as the Blue Blast Messy 16 Plus featured a 3-tier colourway of blue, pink and orange. Covering the Adidas 3 stripes with tape to maintain their white colour, we sprayed the entire top portion of the boot in solid blue, so we could then work down the upper and sole plate accordingly in the 2 other spray paints. One problem that can happen is if you use too much spray paint by layering it on top of another, then it can start to crack and peel away. So as planned, we now had to move down the boot for its middle pink section, and we didn't need to be overly neat as we wanted to create the same gradient effect as seen on the actual Blue Blast Pure Agilities. So into our very final step of our trio of custom, and it was now time to spray paint the sole plate orange, but also slightly onto the lower section of the upper to replicate the messes. This was the first time we had used the orange spray paint in the custom video, and just like the blue and pink, it was the absolute perfect colour to match Adidas's Blue Blast. We completely coated the sole plate, and because it had already been coated in 2 previous colours, the spray paint pretty quickly flaked and peeled away. That's probably the biggest problem with this product. It can only really add 1 or 2 coats maximum.
Yeah, I think it's enough.
So we went to the table for the last time to undo the tape, have a look, do an on feet, and then you guys can vote for your favourite look out of the 3. To be fair, from close up they were a little bit messy, but if you were looking at them from a few metres away, then they actually look class. So guys, here's the final on feet, but which custom gets your vote? The Blue Blast inspired half and half Pure Control, horizontal blue and pink Pure Chaos, or triple blue, pink and orange Pure Agility? Choose your option in the poll card now. Please let us know your thoughts and comments in the section below, and also what our next custom creation should be. Thanks for watching, cheers.
It pops off, doesn't it? Like wind takes it miles.
It's kind of a cool effect though, like a bit of colour to the...
Yeah.